She doesn't say it out loud. She doesn't have to because if you know how to listen, her silence is louder than a confession. Most men miss this, not because they're stupid, but because no one ever taught them where to look. So pay attention now because what I'm about to reveal could change the way you see every interaction. If a woman secretly craves you, it won't start with touch or flirtation. It begins in her mind in the way she catalogues every detail about you, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant. You might mention a childhood memory, a fleeting frustration, or a dream you once had, and she doesn't forget. She stores these fragments not for manipulation, not for gossip, but because your life, your energy, your essence has sparked curiosity she cannot shake. And curiosity is the root of craving. You'll see it first in how she watches you when she thinks you're not noticing. It's not staring, it's studying, subtle, quiet, observant. Her eyes follow patterns, the way you move, the way you laugh, the way your emotions shift when you're passionate or tired or irritated. And if she's truly drawn to you, she unconsciously begins to mirror your energy, your tone, your pacing, even your breathing. She's not aware she's doing it, but it's the subconscious aligning with what it desires. Women crave what resonates with them emotionally. And if your presence triggers alignment, it's already halfway to obsession. Then there's the way she tests you softly, without words. She might challenge your opinion on something trivial. She might tease you with a question that has no right answer just to see your reaction. Most men misread this as criticism or arrogance, but the truth is deeper. She's checking your stability, your emotional resilience, your ability to remain calm under pressure. A woman who craves you wants a man who is grounded, who can handle conflict without losing himself. When you stay steady, she grows increasingly drawn. When you overreact or seek validation, her mind quietly reevaluates her interest. Another hidden signal is how she talks about other men. If she secretly craves you, she won't brag about options or flaunt attention. She downplays them because internally, they're irrelevant. Your presence alone occupies her thoughts more than anyone else's, and she will create ways to be near you without forcing it. She'll be in the same spaces online or offline without making it obvious. Coincidence becomes pattern, and you might only notice this in hindsight when the connection suddenly feels undeniable. Most men assume craving looks like desire, loud, urgent, obvious. They are wrong. Craving is subtle, patient, deliberate. It's the quiet pull you feel before words are spoken, the lingering attention in her eyes, the careful energy she invests without demanding reciprocation. She imagines conversations with you in her head. She replays interactions. She wonders not if you will respond, but when. Her mind is a field where you already exist, long before her lips form the confession. If you feel an unexplained intensity, a quiet gravity when she's near, trust it. Attraction doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes it waits carefully, quietly, and powerfully until the man capable of noticing finally sees the signals that were always there. The second hidden sign is emotional availability without emotional dumping. This is subtle, and most men misinterpret it. When a woman secretly craves you, she doesn't overwhelm you with her problems, fears, or insecurities. She doesn't unload her emotional baggage as if testing whether you can carry it. Instead, she allows you to see her processing, her thoughts in motion, her feelings forming, her heart quietly negotiating vulnerability. This is intimacy before intimacy. She's inviting you into her inner world without demanding that you solve it, fix it, or reassure her. That's rare, and it's deliberate, even if she isn't consciously aware of it. Few men recognize it because it isn't obvious and it isn't loud, but the effect is profound. You feel it in the pauses, in the way she hesitates before speaking, in the way her eyes search yours not for answers, but for acknowledgement. She wants to be seen, not praised, not approved, just seen. You'll notice she values your perspective more than your agreement. She asks questions, then genuinely pauses for your response. She isn't fishing for compliments. She's testing resonance. Does your energy match hers? Are you attentive, present, anchored, grounded? Women crave men whose presence organizes thought rather than scrambles it. If she leaves conversations with you feeling lighter, clearer, or more understood, her craving deepens without words. If you overreact, over-explain, or seek validation, you risk extinguishing it before it ignites. Another sign appears in how she manages time with you. She doesn't rush it. She doesn't insist on overexposure. She doesn't demand constant attention. Instead, she becomes intentionally present, fully engaged in every interaction. Phones face down, body language open, eye contact longer than necessary. Silence is comfortable because she's not nervous. It's anticipation. That pause between words is where her mind lingers on you, replaying moments, imagining possibilities. You notice it sometimes before you even understand it, and the subtlety is deliberate. Craving doesn't shout, craving waits. Craving measures itself in patience, not pressure. You'll also see it in the way she responds when you pull back naturally. Not dramatically, not as a test, just living your life without chasing her. She doesn't panic, she doesn't overreact. She adapts. She meets you halfway without desperate measures. A single, effortless message, a comment that reignites connection, that balance reveals emotional intelligence, and a depth of desire most men overlook. Women crave men who don't demand attention, but still command it through their presence. Pay attention to boundaries. A woman who craves you strengthens them rather than weakens them. She doesn't overshare or rush intimacy. She protects the connection because it matters to her. Many men misread this restraint as disinterest, but in reality, it's a sign of investment. Her attraction is disciplined, measured, and anchored in the certainty of your value. Finally, notice how she frames growth when she's around you. It isn't preachy, it isn't competitive. She reflects on her progress, her ambitions, and often yours too. Women crave men who inspire evolution without needing to be controlled. Men whose presence challenges them gently, subtly, and steadily. Craving is not about chaos or drama, it's about resonance, alignment, and emotional clarity. And when she demonstrates this through thoughtfulness, intentionality, patience, and emotional curiosity, you are already becoming central to her inner world. The third hidden sign manifests in her body long before it ever reaches her words. You may not immediately recognize it, but her posture, gestures, and even the rhythm of her breathing reveal her subconscious craving. When a woman is drawn to you, her body opens toward your presence. Shoulders relax, chest subtly lifts, eyes soften, feet angle toward you. Even in group settings, she positions herself so she can catch your movements, your expressions, your small, almost imperceptible shifts. This is not conscious flirting. It is instinctual regulation. Your presence calms her nervous system, and that calm breeds attachment. She begins to associate you with a sense of security, stability, and unspoken understanding. And craving grows quietly, intensely in that safe space. Micro movements become powerful indicators. She fixes her hair or adjusts her clothing after you speak, not before. She mirrors your tone, your gestures, your pauses, often without realizing it. This isn't manipulation, it's subconscious synchronization. Her nervous system is learning to flow with yours. Touch, when it occurs, is deliberate yet subtle. A brush of the hand, a gentle tap, a brief touch on the arm, never accidental, never desperate. These small signals are whispers of desire restrained by instinct, by social conditioning, and by patience. Craving often hides behind this very control, which is why men frequently miss it entirely. Her reaction to your confidence is another hidden sign. Confidence, not arrogance, not bravado, resonates deeply with her. When you set boundaries and stand by them without aggression or apology, she is drawn in. When you make decisions and act with clarity, she feels a magnetic pull. Women crave men who are decisive, grounded, and unshaken by external drama. If she tests you, even subtly, and you respond with calm curiosity rather than tension or defensiveness, her emotional investment deepens. Power struggles vanish when craving replaces insecurity. Another indicator is her listening. She doesn't just hear you, she observes patterns in your speech, your habits, your reactions. She notices shifts in your energy before anyone else does. She remembers small details, what you like, what unsettles you, what excites you. If you're off, she senses it without interrogation. She will give space when you need it, presence when you want it, and understanding without explanation. This awareness signals deep subconscious attraction because craving thrives on emotional attunement. Protectiveness is subtle but unmistakable. She defends you when you're not around, reframes your flaws thoughtfully, and offers loyalty in ways that go unnoticed by most men. That defense is not imposed. It emerges naturally because she values your essence. She may challenge you lightly, teasingly, or intellectually, but always with respect. Her curiosity is drawn to depth, to stability, to resilience. She is testing resonance, not power. And if you respond appropriately, her craving intensifies. Here is the truth most men overlook. Women who crave you do not try to trap or control you. They align with you. They mirror your energy. They create unspoken patterns that pull you closer without pressure, without urgency. And if you feel an unusual ease, a magnetic energy, a silent yet intense connection, it is because her mind, her heart, and her body are already invested in you long before she utters a word. The fourth hidden sign shows up most clearly in her reaction to your absence. Not your disappearance, not games, but the natural space you create when you live your life fully. Men often misread this. They expect craving to show as panic, clinginess, or constant pursuit. They assume if she doesn't chase, she doesn't care. That assumption is wrong. When a woman secretly craves you, she uses your absence to reflect, to remember, and to imagine. She fills the gaps with thought, not resentment. She reviews moments, replays your words, analyzes the subtleties of your tone, the pauses, the glances, the energy you radiate in those quiet reflections. Her craving intensifies. It grows in patience, in imagination, in anticipation. She isn't desperate. She is deliberate. You'll notice that she references shared memories subtly, often long after the fact. She might casually bring up a joke you laughed at together or a moment that seemed minor at the time. These references are her way of reliving the emotional resonance between you. She's mentally replaying experiences to prolong the feelings, to savor them, to keep your connection alive in the absence of your physical presence. That is the essence of craving. It thrives on memory, on thought, on quiet internal focus, not on overt demands or visible drama. She may also seek your validation indirectly, without overtly asking for it. Not compliments, not flattery, but alignment. She wants to feel that you understand her perspective, that her energy, her values, and her intentions resonate with yours. This is not insecurity. This is careful, measured connection seeking. She wants to be seen accurately by the man she craves. And when her energy reflects patience, curiosity, and intentionality, it's a signal that her emotional investment is deepening. Watch how she behaves around other women when you are present. Not jealousy, not over-the-top competition, but subtle awareness. She becomes more grounded, more deliberate, more intentional in how she carries herself and how she interacts. She knows what she feels and she respects it. She doesn't need to act out. She doesn't need to compete. Instead, she channels energy toward connection with you because that is where her focus lies. That restraint and composure are hallmarks of desire tempered by intelligence and patience. The fourth sign also appears in her approach to uncertainty. She tolerates ambiguity without rushing to define it. She doesn't demand labels or immediate clarity. She allows the connection to unfold naturally, understanding intuitively that forcing certainty often destroys subtle attraction. Patience becomes proof of craving because it signals that her focus is long term. She values the rhythm of connection over the noise of immediate gratification. She waits, she observes, she aligns. Finally, you'll notice her quiet curiosity about your life continues, even in your absence. She asks questions not to control, not to probe, but to genuinely understand. She doesn't hover, she doesn't press, she doesn't manipulate. She maintains a balance of presence and distance, of observation and engagement. This combination, attention without intrusion, patience without apathy, curiosity without desperation, is the most potent sign of all. Women who crave a man at this level do so subtly, deliberately, and with emotional intelligence that few men ever recognize. Craving thrives in space, not in pursuit. It grows in reflection, memory, alignment, and trust. If she respects your presence and your absence, if she engages with curiosity and intentionality, understand this clearly. She is already emotionally invested in ways that will last longer than any fleeting passion. The final hidden sign is acceptance without illusion. She sees you clearly, not the version you project, not the version you wish you were, but the man you are in your unguarded moments. And she stays. She doesn't try to rewrite you. She doesn't layer her fantasies or expectations over your reality. She doesn't attempt to shape you or control the pace of your life. That is rare. Most men misinterpret her composure as indifference when in reality it is the purest form of attraction. She craves the real you, the version that is messy, imperfect, and growing. And when she does, you feel it even before she speaks. There's a calm certainty in her presence, a quiet confidence that doesn't demand, manipulate, or force attention. She celebrates your wins without comparison, and she respects your struggles without judgment. She doesn't seek to elevate herself at your expense, and she doesn't feel threatened by your growth. This is emotional alignment at its highest level. Craving at this stage isn't loud or frantic, it is deep, steady, and measured. It emerges in the small gestures that seem almost invisible, but are charged with meaning, a sustained look, a carefully timed message, a thoughtful observation about your life that signals she notices everything that matters. She invests quietly, deliberately, and intelligently because she understands the value of restraint and the power of alignment. You'll notice she doesn't rely on games, manipulation, or exaggerated displays of desire. There's no frantic pursuit, no testing, no trying to make you chase. Instead, she aligns her energy with yours. She mirrors your rhythms, she respects your space, and she creates emotional resonance without pressure. When a woman craves you at this level, she trusts in your presence rather than forcing attention, and she moves toward you naturally, intuitively, and powerfully without effort. That is a sign most men never recognize. Her curiosity remains alive, not just about you, but about the connection itself. She asks questions that matter. She notices the shifts in your energy, the subtleties of your mood, the small patterns of behavior that reveal your true self. And she holds her responses carefully, intentionally, because she knows that emotional depth is more valuable than immediate gratification. Her craving is informed, patient, and sophisticated. It is enduring. Now, here is the truth that separates men who understand women from those who remain in confusion. Craving is never about desperation. It is about alignment, resonance, patience, and trust. A woman who craves you emotionally, mentally, and subconsciously does so without frantic pursuit. She creates connection that lasts because it is grounded in authenticity, in respect, and in shared understanding. Her attention is earned, valued, and deeply rooted in observation of who you are, not in the surface level performance of who you appear to be. So here's the question only you can answer honestly and deeply. Are you becoming the kind of man who naturally inspires trust, emotional safety, and clarity? Or are you still chasing validation and confusing intensity with connection? Write your answer in the comments below. Like this video if it opened your eyes. Subscribe for more insights into female psychology and dating dynamics. And share this video with a friend who needs to hear this. Because understanding these truths can change the way a man experiences attraction, desire, and connection forever.